Hello, good morning, students.
Good morning, teacher.
Student, wake up, please. Say hi, teacher. Students.
Hi.
Okay, hi. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. How are you guys
Good
today?
morning.
All right, so just wait for a couple of minutes. Let all of your friends join us, so then we can start. So until then, prepare your textbooks so we can start. All right, very good. And keep your camera open, okay, students? So, occupation and technology. Occupation, we are going, today's class is about occupation. And we are going to learn about some of the plants, flowering plants and foliage plants. On page number 78.
Turn on your camera, please, student. ต้นกล้าเธอ
All right, students, so who can tell me what is the difference between flowering plants and foliage plants? Anyone can tell me? We already talked about flowering plants and foliage plants in this chapter, in this unit. I guess 2 years back, we already studied about that. So do you remember? Can you tell me? Why is like that? It's quite simple. Flowering plants are those plants which we put in our gardens and they have flowers, right? So those we call flowering plants. And those plants, foliage plants, are those plants which we also grow in our gardens to make our garden look more beautiful, but usually they don't have flowers, but their leaves are beautiful. Now you remember? Now you will remember, students. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's start and talk about some of flowering plants. All right, so page number 78. Page number 78. So the flower, as you can see here in your books, also on the screen. Globe Amaranth. Globe Amaranth is the name of this flower, as you can see on the screen. Globe Amaranth. So usually globe amaranth are annual plants which grow around 60 centimeters tall. They have fine white hair covering young growth, which matures to a thick green stem, right? The leaves are oval. The leaves are oval and arranged alternately along the stem. So the flower heads are papery, globe shape, about 2 centimeters across. Their colors are white, purple, and pink. So these are some of the different colors which we can find in this plant. Okay, so the globe amaranths are actually annual plants. Annual plants are those like while we find that in yearly, right? And how tall they grow? They grow around 60 centimeters. It can grow tall 60 centimeters. And they're having fine white hair around here. You can see on the stem, right? So they're having fine white hair covering long grow, right? So which matures to a thick green stem. So as the time passes, while it grow up, so the stem actually they can also develop thicker, right? And usually the leaves are all oval shape and arranged alternately along the stem, as you can see here in the picture, right? So the leaves, they're all oval shape, right? And it's alternately along the stem, right? So the flower head are paper leaf. As you can see here, the flower actually, it's like a paper, like while you touch it, right? So it's like a papery. And the shape of the flower, this actually, it's a globe shape. You see, like a globe shape. You know, the globe shape, like a round shape, you know, like a globe, like earth. It's like a globe, right? So the shape of that is globe. And it's around 2 centimeters. The flower size, it's around 2 centimeters. So they have how many colors? They got white color, purple, and pink. So these are the 3 color which we have available, globe, amaranth. So while we would like to grow this plant, so we required some of the tools and equipment. So first of all, what we required seeds. So the seeds actually it's required. So those seeds, they can grow up to become a plant, right? Number 2, what we have to do, we have to lose soil. If the soil is hard, so we're going to use some of the tools. With the help of those tools, actually, we will make first the soil softer, make it loose, all right? Third, we require hand fork, right? So hand fork we required to loosen the soil, and we also required trowel. Number 5, we required watering can. So watering can we usually use for while we already plant the seeds, right? So we are going to use water. So with the help of watering can, we can give water to the flowers. All right. 6th equipment, what we required hoe. So hoe actually we use for digging. Okay, we use for dig the soil. So these are the 6 tools and equipment which is required for growth of globe amaranth. So what is the procedure? How we are going to start? Okay, first of all, what we have to do, we have to select a planting area which is approximately 1 meter wide and 4 meter long in our garden or anywhere else where we would like to plant. So we have to make sure that the area it's 1 meter wide, like it's wide 1 meter and long 4 meter. So that's the area we required first. Number 2, what we have to do, we have to remove weed and then dig the planting plot 30 centimeters deep. So if the area is actually the soil is hard, so first of all, what we have to do, we have to dig it. Okay, we have to dig it. And how the planting plot, we have to dig around 30 centimeter deep while we are digging, right? So we have to make sure that we dig around 30 centimeters deep. Okay, so these are the first 2 steps. Now step number 3, what we have to do, we have to rise the level of planting plot from the ground and then leave for a week to disinfect. So while we already dig the soil, right, and we remove, they have like a useless sort of weed or something, we remove all those stuff from the soil. So we're gonna leave it That plot, the area, we're going to leave it for how long? For at least 1 week. Why we are going to leave it for 1 week? Because if they have any type of germs or any infection, so it will be disappear. It will disinfect. Now, step number 4, what we have to do, we have to spread out the seeds over the planting plot. So we already have the seeds. After 1 week, those seeds we're gonna just put around, spread around the planting area where we would like to plant, and we prepare the plot. So we're gonna spread in that area. Number 5, step number 5, what we have to do, we have to water them every day, both in the morning and evening, until they produce flowers. So for this sort of plants, we have to make sure that we give water every day, 2 times a day, one morning, second time evening, with the help of watering can. So we already have watering can. So with the help of watering can, we're gonna give water 2 times a day until they produce flowers. Okay. Now, step number 6, we have to make sure that loosen soil, right? Loosen soil, the planting plot, to increase the level of water and air absorbed by the plant. So we have to make sure with the help of hand fork, we have to make the planting plot loose. The soil, we have to make it loose. What is the benefit of loosening the soil? So the air absorption will be more higher. So they can have air absorption, and the water flow, the water level also, it will be more for the plant. And step number 7, fertilize them with compost or manure once a week. So similar for all type of plants, they need fertilizer. So fertilizer, we can either give compost or manure, the natural one, the natural fertilizer which we get from the animal dung. So we have to give at least once in a week. Okay, students, you understand? These are the 7 simple steps what you have to follow to grow the flowers, right? Now, how we have to maintain it? Maintenance. First of all, water the plants every day, both in morning and evening. So if you would like to maintain our plants so they can grow up in the right way and they have more flower, so we have to give water every day. Okay, once in the morning, second in the evening. Second important thing of maintenance, that one is fertilize. Fertilize once in a week. Like once in a week, you have to give fertilizer, natural fertilizer, manure or compost, right? Third, loosen soil regularly. So all the time we have to make sure that the soil is loose, not hard. Why? Because the air absorption and the level of water, for this we require to make the soil loose regularly, right? Step number 4, we have to remove weeds and pests regularly. So like a useless weed, if they have grow up in that soil, so we have to make sure to clean it from the weed and pests regularly. Okay, students, you understand that how you have to maintain it? All right, let me ask from you, who can tell me what are the most important maintenance method? Can you tell me one?
Me.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, water the plants every day, both in the morning and evening.
Very good. We have to give water to the plants every day, in the morning and evening. Okay. Anyone else can tell me one more method of maintenance? Anyone else, students? How we can maintain? Lily, can you tell me one method of maintaining the plants?
Water the plant every day, but in the morning and evening.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, let me ask from one more student. August, can you tell me one way of maintaining the plants? August, can you answer me, please? Just show me one way of maintaining plants, how we can maintain. Just one tip. All right, Matum, can you tell me one method? One tip. Can you give me one tip how to maintain the plants?
Loosen soil, leave
Very good. Excellent. So here you can see, student, these are the 4 simple tips. First of all, give water 2 times a day, morning and evening. Second, give fertilizer once in a week. Third, loosen soil regularly. And fourth, remove weed regularly. So these are the 4 simple tips which you can, with the help of, you can maintain your plants. And this sort of maintenance, it's for all type of garden plants, okay? All right, so our next plant is Coleus. So Coleus are actually, as you can see here in the picture, this is how it looks, Coleus. So there are several types of Coleus with different colorful leaves, such as lime green, dark purple, red, brown, and others. They often come in bold combinations, such as yellow with orange spots or green edges surrounding magenta, right? So the zigzag edges level can vary from tiny to a very big size. And they may be oval, lobed, roundish, or long in shape. So here you can see in the picture, first of all, we have Coleus, we're having many different types. Okay, they have also different type. They have many types of Coleus, right? And what is the most attractive thing about this plant? Because they have a colorful leaf. They have a colorful leaves, right? So they have different colors like lime green, they have dark purple, they have red, brown, and others. So these are all different colors of Coleus. Okay, so normally they often come in a bold combination. All right, so they're having the combination of bold, such as yellow with orange spots or green edges surrounding magenta, right? So here you can see in the one leaf picture given to you, you can see him right here in the center. It's like a more like a purplish, right? But the edges you can see here, it's more green. So it's the combination. It's a combination of multicolor, right? And one more thing, if you take a closer look, so the edge of the leaves, they are zigzag. They are all zigzag. As you can see here, this is how it looks. So the edge of these leaves, they are zigzag. And the shape of that is oval shape, like a long shape. Okay. And they have many colors, right? The colors are like a dark purple, red, brown, and lime green. And also they have many more colors as well. All right, so sorry. The zigzag edges leaf can vary from tiny to a very big size. So all these edges actually they are zigzag, and the size of that it can be tiny size or either a big size, and they may be oval, lobe, roundish, or long in shape. So these are all different shapes, right? So they have oval shape, they have lobe, roundish, or long in shape. So these are different shape of leaves. All right. So coleuses are commonly used to decorate small garden or areas. So these sort of flower, they are used in the garden or any area, small area. We would like to decorate it. Okay, we would like to make it look more beautiful. So we, for this planting coleus, we also required some of the tools and equipment. Number one, we required coleus cuttings. So we should have like a coleus cuttings. Step number two, loose soil, like a soft soil, not hard soil. Another equipment we required hoe. Fourth, we required hand fork. Then we also required watering can. And we also required clippers, right? So how we gonna grow it? The procedure is stepwise. Step number one, what we have to do, we have to fork the soil surface and leave it for a week in order to get rid of all weeds, insects, and germs that could harm the plants. So similar like the other plant, the previous plant, first of all, we're gonna make the soil loosen. Okay, we're gonna make the soil softer and loosen. We're gonna fork it, right? And after that, we will leave it for at least 1 week. Why? Because if they have any type of insects or they have any germs or some other sort of harmful stuff they have, so it will be all clean up. It will become clean, because if they have germs or insects or weed, it can harm, it can damage the plant. So we first prepare the plot and leave it for 1 week. Okay. Step number two is the same method. Select a planting area which required an approximately wide width of 1 meter. So the area where we are going to plant it, it have to be around 1 meter. The width of that approximately 1 meter. Okay. Now step number three, what we have to do, we have to soften the soil by watering it. Then plant the coleus cutting with a distance of 30 centimeters between each other. So with the help of clippers, right, we cut the coleus actually into small pieces, right? So those, what we have to do, we have to put in a distance of 30 centimeter. For example, if you put one here, we have to make sure where we are planting the other plant, so the distance between both have to be at least 30 centimeter. Okay. Step number four, water them.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
Student, they'll listen to you. Okay, students, clap your hand 10 times. Students, clap your hand 10 times. Matum, clap your hand 10 times. Okay, touch your ear. Touch your ears. Tonkra, open your camera, please. Touch your ear and up and down. Up and down. Mangkon, why you don't do? Touch your ear again. Up and down. Up and down. And clap your hand 10 times. Clap your hand 10 times again. Okay, teacher.
All right, students, so don't fall asleep, okay? It's very simple, easy tip. With the help of this tip, you can grow your own plants also. You can grow your own flowers in your garden to make your garden or your house look more beautiful, okay? And these are the simple tips for every sort of, for most of the plants while you would like to plant it. Okay, so first of all, step number 3 was you have to soften the soil by watering it. Then plant Coleus cuttings with a distance of 30 centimeters between each other. First, you make the soil soft, right? Put water in that, and then the Coleus cuttings, you have to plant it and make sure that the distance between both at least 30 centimeter between each other, okay, between each one. Number 4, water them every day, both in the morning and evening, but not too much at one time, not too much at a time. So similar for this sort of plant, you also have to give water 2 times a day, morning and evening, but not over water it, okay, just in a limited level. Number 5, loosen the soil around by planting in the planting plots in order to increase the level of water and absorbed by the plants. So similar is the previous plant, we also have to make sure that the area, the soil, we keep loosen, not hard, okay? We have to make it loosen often. And why we have to make it loose? Because the air absorption will be more high, okay? And also for the higher water level as well. And step number 6, simple, fertilize them with compost or manure once a week. So these are the procedure, 6 different steps what you can follow, and you can plant the Coleus, okay? So how to maintain it? So maintenance is also similar as the previous plant. First, water the plants every day, both morning and evening. Second step, fertilize once a week. Third, loosen the soil regularly. Step number 4, remove weed and pests regularly. So this is how you can take care of your plants, okay? For most of the plants, the maintenance is all same. Just make sure water 2 times a day, give fertilizer once in a week, keep the soil loosened regularly, okay? And don't forget to remove the weeds and pests. All right, so now we're gonna move to our next plant. That one is Devil's Ivy. Devil's Ivy. So here you can see the picture is also given to you, right? So it's the name of this plant is Devil's Ivy. So Devil's Ivy, actually, it's a kind of ivy that comes with roots above the ground. They come with roots above the ground so that it can grow well in both soil and water. The leaves are heart-shaped with a color of green marble with cream. So Devil's Ivy can be trained to grow on wires or strings. It can also hang down from either pots or hanging baskets to display its attractive leaves. So actually the Devil's Ivy, actually this sort of plants, they're having quite beautiful leaves, okay? So the leaves are more attractive, which look more nice. So how you can grow? Actually, you can grow both way. You can either grow in the soil, right? And you can also grow in water. So both way, it can grow up very well. And the shape of the leaves, they are actually like a heart shape, as you can see here. The shape of the leaves of Devil's Ivy, it's like a heart shape, as you can see here. Just make like a heart. So it look more beautiful that way, right? And the other way to grow it, actually, you can also grow on the wires or strings. So for example, if you in your room or either in your outdoor area, you just make like a wires. From the wires, you just make like a strings. So you can grow around the string. So it can grow in that way, like and grow up more. So that's also one way you can grow it. And either you can just hang it somewhere, and the leaves of that actually it hangs down. So in that manner, it will also look quite beautiful, like hanging in baskets to display it, to display its attractive leaves. So if you put it in the basket and hang it, so the leaves of that are gonna be look more attractive. So how you can, for this also, for to grow devil's ivy, you also required some of the tools and equipments. So number one, what you required cuttings of devil's ivy. Like you need to have cut of that, like the stem of that while you cut it, right? So you require those cuttings of this plant. Apart from that, you required loosened soil. Apart from that, watering can and clipper. So clipper we use for cutting. And if you are intent to grow in the soil, so you require soft soil. Okay. So first of all, what you have to do, the same procedure. Number one, you have fork the soil surface and leave it for a week in order to get rid of the weeds, insects, germs that could harm the plants. So similar like the other plants, you have to make the soil with the help of hand fork softer. You make the soil softer, remove the weeds and all, and leave it for 1 week. If they have any type of germs or any infection or any harmful stuff in the soil, so which is actually not good for the plants, which is harmful for the plants, so it will be all get rid of that. So just leave it for 1 week before you planting it. Number two, select appropriate cuttings of devils which should not be either too long or too old, and then cut them. So while you are going to choose the cuttings of that, so you have to make sure that it's not supposed to be too old and also not supposed to be too young. So you have to choose the stem of that like the middle age, like it's strong enough but not old enough, or either you're not supposed to choose the too young, right? If it's too young, it's also not good to grow up. So that part, middle part, you have to find and for grow. Then step number three, what you need to do, you have to soften the soil by watering it, then plant the cuttings of devil ivy in the soil. So you make the soil softer by watering it, and then you plant the cuttings of the of that specific plant. Okay. Step number four, water them every day, both in the morning and evening. So don't forget to give water 2 times a day, morning and evening. And also loosen the soil and fertilize the plants with compost or manure once in a week. So once in a week, you have to give fertilizer, okay? And also make sure that the soil is loose. So these are the simple 5 steps what you can follow, and you can grow your own devil ivy. Okay, students?
Students, someone sleep. Wake up, students. Do you understand? Teacher, you can open video clip plan about grow and plant, because make student interesting. Okay, students, clap your hand 10 times. Okay, and show me your hand. 2 hands. Like that. Left and right, left and right, left and right. Okay. Clap your hand 10 times. Wake up, wake up. Touch your ear. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Touch your head. Touch your head. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left and right, left and right. Okay, wake up, please.
Actually, growing plants, it's a little bit boring while you just listening to it. But once you grow by your own practically, so it's more interesting.
Okay, student, read teacher 5 and video. Matum, who talk with who? You talk with who? I see you smile and laugh when teacher teaching. You play with who? Keep listen to teacher. Focus only teacher. Do you understand, student?
Back, and I'm here to give you some flower planting tips. Step 1, clear area with hand cultivator. This will be large objects and rocks. Step 2, use the hand rake. Step 1, clear area with hand cultivator. This will remove large objects and rocks. Step 2, use the hand rake to remove all small debris. Step 3, with a trowel, dig a hole a little bigger than your flower pot. Step 4, add potting soil. Step 5, pull the flower out of the pot and break up the root at the bottom with your fingers. This helps the roots grow into the new soil. Step 6, water before filling in the empty space around the flower. This helps the soil mix in with the flower roots. Step 7, fill in the empty space. It's okay for your flower to be built up on the mound. This will prevent it from drowning. Step 8, add final details to garden area. Now that you've planted your spring garden, be sure to water your flowers at least once or twice a week. Don't let the soil get too dry, and be sure not to overwater them because believe it or not, your flowers can drown. Now repeat this process about a dozen times, and you too will have a lovely spring garden. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our last year's spring garden.
All right, students, now you have seen already how you can plant. You just dig it, put the plants there, right? Put the soil all around and water them. And make the distance between each flower. Okay, so now this is all for today. And one more thing, on page number 82 and 83, you have to write down by yourself. Okay, you have activity, students, growing flower and foliage plants. All right, page number 82 and 83. You have to write down in your home what type of flower